Hello Taurus, welcome or welcome back to my body and heart tarot therapy. I'm here to do the reading for December 2020. I hope you're well, Taurus. It's been a while. For those that have been here before, no, I haven't been posting for a while, but I'm back. Okay, so you have the Page of Swords as your current energy. All right. Now let's see what's the challenge for my dear Taurus. So this is a reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and the rising signs. If it resonates, it resonates, and if it doesn't, it just doesn't. Which means it's not your reading. Seven of Cups as your challenge. All right, Taurus. Let's see what's your advice. Five of Wands is your advice. I keep seeing this Five of Wands is the past three readings, but in different position. All right, and what's the future energy? Also, check out the other readings for if Sun is your Taurus, Taurus is your Sun. Check out your Moon reading and your Rising reading. Can give you like a bigger picture of what's going on for you, a rounder picture. Okay, Four of Swords. This one's been coming out again as well, quite a lot. The past few readings, so it's a general theme. Okay, and bottom of the deck, there's the Page of Wands as the theme of your reading. All right, darling. Now let's see what's your... clarify these cards. Let's clarify these cards. So you have the Sun of Wands, which is basically the... oh gosh, can't really see much, can you? It's the Knight of Wands basically, so it's coming right after this page. Interesting. Why is the Seven of Cups here as the challenge? And you have the Three of Pentacles and the Four of Cups. To clarify the Seven of Cups. Why is the Five of Wands here as your advice? That flew away. Six of Cups. And why is the Four of Swords here as your future energy? Okay. The Lovers. Cute. And Six of Wands as the underlying energy along with the Page of Wands. All right, darling. Beautiful. Let's see what's going on in here. Let's talk through this. I'm gonna leave them down. And I'm gonna take a sip of tea. Sorry for that. Got really thirsty very suddenly. Alright, so Wands energy. Page of Wands. A lot of Wands energy. Page of Wands and the Six of Wands as the underlying energy. The theme of this month for you, of December. I think you're starting to realize how to allow growth to happen to you rather than force it happening. You start recognizing what works. You start seeing how maybe as you become more and more curious about what life offers rather than trying very hard to force life to your will. Allows you to grow in ways that you've never noticed or felt like or experienced before. This is a very experiential energy, and this is also very spiritual. With the Six of Wands here, I think that you're starting to see for yourself this growth, and also others can see it in you. It's being recognized from the outside. Also, sixes in general talk about a little bit of the higher picture, understanding maybe a little bit of the higher picture, the bigger picture, of the spiritual journey that you're on, and what does it really mean. It talks about having a clear belief systems and started operating from it into the world. Say, for example, if you believe that loving kindness practice for yourself and for the world is beneficial, or is something that it's a from life philosophy, for example, then you start coming into the world more and more from that space, and your actions are following that as well. And this kind of like, again, is being well received. That does not mean in any way that you need to deny any other experiences. It's more about how you receive them within yourself, rather than you not have to stop being human and having bad emotions and bad feelings and being angry at people. It's more like what we do with this, what we do with the anger, what do we do with the emotions that we have, what do we do with the what actions are following. Sometimes acts of loving kindness could be just moving on, or leaving somebody behind, or stepping away from a situation, rather than being constantly, I don't know, the what's it called, the martyr. Why am I not able to pronounce this correctly now? Like, you don't need to sacrifice yourself. That's not the point. That's not always, even though it's been glorified a lot in movies and in literature and in our culture, self-sacrifice isn't really that helpful. We can learn to understand our needs and work with our needs and work with other people's needs, and set clear boundaries, and then we can offer more genuinely of our gifts and of ourselves to the world, and we can our actions can benefit more people. Yeah, so I think it's a natural growth, and it comes again from this feeling of like understanding how it works, understanding how the energy works, and how this what actually brings you into a point of spiritual awakening, which basically means being fully present, being present with yourself, not being out there in the past or in the present or in the future, projecting or ruminating. It means being in the present, seeing things for what they are, experiencing things for what they are, being curious about what it is, and allowing this excitement of and curiosity to take over, rather than dread around things not being what we want them to be. Okay, so current energy is the Page of Swords with the Son of Wands. A lot of this growth, like pages talk about a natural growth, a natural transformation. Honestly, it's like when things are just going, when there's the right container, we just have the right container. You think about the pages as children, and they grow naturally. You don't really need to do anything but feed them, give them some guidance in general, like some parenting and whatever, but you don't need to force them to grow in any direction. They grow naturally. It's a natural process. This is the same with these pages. In this case, it's in the spiritual and the realm, and here it's in the mental realm, in the realm of the mind. So there's a natural growth happening at mind level as well. I think you simply, by being present with yourself, simply by seeing things for what they are, by allowing this recognition, this ability to see beyond your wants and don't wants, is giving you this breath of fresh air. You can start observing your mind with a different quality, a quality of acceptance, a quality of like not identifying with the mind, And with the Son of Wands, it's expanding the boundaries of your awareness. You're literally expanding the boundaries of your awareness. You're cultivating awareness. You're cultivating more space for you to experience yourself and experience the world and exchange with the world. And you know, the Son of Wands talks a lot about experience, going out and having going into adventures, being playful, learning through experience, and so on. And it's pushing the boundaries of your your spiritual realm, which in this way, in this reading, I see it as pure awareness, cultivating awareness. And with the Page of Swords also, it's about learning to communicate. Maybe you're learning a lot from this growth. You're learning a lot from what you're like able to, you know, be curious about yourself, be curious about the growth, blah 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 blah, and you're able to put that into words so other people can understand where you're at, and also for some people to maybe learn to relate and identify with what is it that you experience. Sometimes when we are able to communicate things in a very coherent way, it can help others very well, in the sense that we can put words to what sometimes inside of themselves just feels it's there, but they can't put words to it. Now I'm not giving a very good example of a very coherent language, but I hope you understand what I mean. Like, we can sometimes, by just communicating how our experiences, can put words to other people's experiences as well, and it can be very, very easy for them to clarify their own experience. Okay. Now you have the Seven of Cups though as your what's this called, challenge. So the Seven of Cups with the Three of Pentacles and the Four of Cups as your challenge, right? And I see particularly this Seven of Cups as starting to maybe check in with your emotional baggage. You know, you see that this growth is happening. You see how by being present, by being curious, you're seeing so much, you're learning so much, and you see how that affects your everyday life. Yet there's something in your emotional body that you know, it's there, it's been there for a long time. So things that you maybe haven't had the courage or the tools to access up until now. The body keeps the score. That means that we keep in our bodies the emotional signature of past experiences. And the Seven of Cups talks a lot about this, like feeling the emotions at body level, seeing what is it that you've been carrying with yourself and starting to sort that out. Processing your emotional baggage. Processing means, because that's I think a lot of people get confused around this, like, how do we process our emotions? What does it mean that you can't heal what you can't feel? We're terrified to go into, like, especially if we carry like a big baggage of emotions, and we all do to a certain degree, some more than others. You know, we carry traumas, we carry all this, like maybe very heavy feelings because we've been hurt in the past, and maybe we didn't know how to let go of that. What does it even mean to let go? You know, that's something that's so often heard in the spiritual world, but it's very rarely actually clarified. And I think that it's important to understand that what does this mean. Processing emotions is like starting to feel them at body level, not feeding into the story any longer, but feeling them, just feeling, just the felt sense of them. And you can start, like, the mind can be engaged in just identifying what is it that you feel. I feel heaviness, I feel pain, I feel anger, I feel this, I feel that, and become familiar with it and start feeling it. Where is it in the body? And just by feeling it and not feeding into it through your mind, through the story that you tell yourself, what does that mean about you, what does that mean about blah 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 blah, How is this affecting my self-worth, basically. If we're not judging the emotions that we have based on that, and we just allow them to feel, then they become released from the body. You can go into moments of catharsis. Maybe you shake it off, maybe you dance, maybe you cry, maybe all this, allowing the emotions to be released. But if you start feeding into them with your mind, then it's not really helpful, because you just get lost in them. You drown in your emotions. You feel like it's not really a helpful process. So it needs to be done in a structured way, and with awareness of what is it that you're doing, with intention. This is why you have the Three of Pentacles here and the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is like you're somewhat detached from this process, as in, like, you don't identify with it. You don't necessarily identify with everything that you're carrying there. Yes, I feel sadness. That doesn't mean I am sad. It means I feel sadness, and I've been carrying sadness for a while. I'm feeling it and I'm letting it go by this. Not going into the story of why am I sad. Okay, yeah, of course, it's from this story and this story and this story and story of my life and my childhood and this and this. Yeah, okay, it's good to have to do some therapy. Maybe I would recommend therapy to each and every person living on this planet, to feel it, to process it with a therapist, like our childhood and so on and so on and so on. But it doesn't mean that every time that we go and do this process of like emotional cleansing, we need to go into the story of my life, right? Not feeding into it, because that's what can end up traumatizing you at times, or you can end up into like just you getting lost, and you're just getting a hit basically of that emotions. It would mean basically, I think I said basically 100 fucking sorry. It just means that if you get lost into the stories, you're just taking you get high on your emotions. Because emotions can be addictive, and then you end up creating the same story again and again and again, to reiterate the same paradigm that you've been living in, and produce more of the same shit emotions that you've been carrying. So doing it in a mindful way, by sitting with it, by doing it, maybe working with others that are helping you, workshops, therapists, coaches, whatever it is that you resonate with, and keeping this emotional distance. I know it sounds weird, keeping an emotional distance from your emotions. Like, I'm not investing in everything that comes up in there as if that's the reality. This is your challenge, though. These emotions that you carry at body level can be confusing. It can get a little bit foggy as you immerse yourself into this process. But you have what it takes. It is the time. You have the knowledge right now. You have the space. You created this this whole growth that you've been process that you've been through, kind of allows you to understand how you can do this, and it gives you the ability to do this. Otherwise you wouldn't have had this card. Even though it's challenging, yeah, it's in a challenge position. It's not easy, but it is doable. It's definitely doable, as long as you do it in a structured way. And if you remember that you are not your emotions. And this is your advice. 5 of Wands with the 6 of Cups. I mean, like, all these emotions that you're tapping into, and you feel them at body level, and it may feel like heavy and whatever. They seem to create some type of spiritual conflict within yourself. Maybe it's a conflict relating what is the right thing to do in terms of okay, I have this belief system, I have this, like I gave the example of the loving kindness. Okay, I'm my life philosophy is loving kindness practice, and that means that I need to be of service to other people and honor life and honor myself and honor the world and blah 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 blah. But what does it mean when somebody I love that maybe it's abusive, maybe from the past or a family member or something like this, because you have the Six of Cups here, is provoking a lot of pain, or it's actually re-traumatizing me, or it's keeping me into power dynamics that's very unhealthy. That it creates this inner conflict. What does it mean to be a good in your world? Again, not mine, not somebody else's, but in your belief system. What does it mean to be, say, a good son or daughter, or a good sibling, or a good mother or father, or a good... You get my meaning, right? What does it mean to... How do I resolve my family trauma so I can create more space for healing and for release and for more awareness to be created, so I can be more into the present moment and more less reactive and more mindful. But sometimes we also have all these like interactions with people that trigger the deepest wounds and trauma responses and things like this. So what's the right thing to do? You know, what am I, what's gonna be make it worse, or what is it gonna bring healing and would lead to wholesome living? Should I stay and I don't know, take whatever it is to be taken from people that I know that I love and they love me, but they are maybe leaning on me too hard, or I'm leaning on them a little bit too hard? These type of conflicts can appear, and I think it's important for you to allow yourself to go through this process and allow your wisdom to come through. Do not run away from this conflict. Whether it shows up externally a lot, of course it will be triggered by something external most of the time. It will trigger this inner parts of yourself that would be at odds with each other. I am supposed to do like this, or I'm supposed to do like that. How am I supposed to deal with my family? How am I supposed to deal with my family trauma, or people that trigger the trauma in a certain way? And you will find the answer within. Just don't run away from conflict. Sit with it. Be present with it. Feel into the baggage and see what is it coming really from the baggage. If it's not necessarily dealing directly with your family now, for example, though it's Christmas time for those that actually celebrate Christmas, there's holidays in the Western world, people tend to get together with family, or not being able to get together with family, and that's another conflict, you know, lockdowns and whatever. So whether it's your direct family or people that are in your life, and we basically recreate our family environment in our relationships in different ways, you know, and see how your baggage, your emotional baggage that you're carrying, is affecting your relationships today, and how much of it is projection of this baggage on other people, and how much of it is it really them doing something truly unforgivable or unhealthy. Sometimes it's hard to differentiate, you know. That's why we need to sense, to feel, to let go, to release, and to do this processing and allowing these conflicts to take place within ourselves and outside of ourselves, because that, like this, we are able to decondition. Sometimes we are too driven by this emotional baggage, and if somebody who's innocently saying something that reminds me of what my mom used to do or say, then I hold it against them, and I'm 10 times angrier at them than I should be, or would anyone else would be for that matter. And maybe I give a shock to the person that I'm reacting in that way, becoming very reactive and so on. So this is why it's very valuable now to take this time and feel into it and sense into it, and start releasing those like heavy emotions that you've been carrying from your past. All right. And future energy, you've got the Four of Swords and the Lovers. And this is it, this is that peace of mind that comes with once we allow a healthy conflict to reveal what needs to be revealed about ourselves, and to release, not just vent off, but to actually release the heaviness, and transform the energy, both internally and the energy of the people in your life, whether that's your family or friends or whatever relationships you find yourself you're into. And it's coming with the Lovers. Means really like, if this is a conflict with your partner, for example, it will transform, it will bring you closer once you process this internally and together. Once you feel more at ease and at peace with yourself, and you don't lose yourself in rationalization, but accept the baggage, do the work, being present with it, allowing the transformation to take place, then you come into the relationship, whatever that relationship is, from a very, very different place. And you are able to see better the person in front of you, not for the filters of your baggage, over your emotional baggage. And you can be more open and more able to connect. And you can see them also deeper, and start seeing the differences, not just like these similarities that are very maybe awakening certain traumatic responses or reactiveness of sorts. So you become less reactive and more loving. Okay, that's really beautiful, Taurus. But that does require you to do some work here. I mean, this does not magically happen. This is what you're called to work with. But you have the capacity now. You really have it. That's the message for Taurus from the Rumi Oracle. You who show the way. Well, look at you, Taurus. Showing the way to us all. Number 33. Master number. Okay, so the poem from Rumi says, don't know if this is helpful. You who show the way, yeah? The logical mind runs away from drowning. Lovers accept drowning in the sea as their destiny. The logical mind finds consolation in reaching a level of comfort in life. Lovers are focused beyond their own comfort. Rumi. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. This poem. Lovers accept drowning in the sea as their destiny. That can, and not necessarily looking for comfort in life, be focused beyond their own comfort. Okay, let's just read the explanation. I don't want to give my own. Even in your unquenchable passion for service to humanity, to the world that offers you so much, there is a time when your most powerful offering is actually and most simply that of your presence. And I want to build on that and say that of you actually being present as well. You show the way, you who inspired through how you choose to live and be. You who sometimes think yourself to be invisible. You who consider yourself to be of no particular or exceptional worth. Yes, you who through your choice to live your truth, reveal my face, demonstrate my love, embody my presence, heal my beloveds and love my creations. That's speaking from the divine's perspective, I suppose. This oracle comes to you with a special message. You are an inspiration. You are helping those around you, and even many of whom you are unaware. You are doing this because it is your path. This is your way. This is your gift to live a life dedicated to the growth of consciousness. Yes. And through that dedication, inspire others to receive the loving consciousness of the great beloved that can benefit them so greatly, no matter what their situation or circumstances. You are not doing this through any effort or will. That's what we were talking exactly at the beginning with this. It's not something that is be forced. It's something that's happening. Okay. You are not doing this through any effort or will. You are doing this because this is your nature, your being, your way. Just as the sun breaks through darkness with its own light, shining light with its presence by simply being, so too does your inner sound, your soul. You don't have to understand this or do anything with the information given, although you may find it of comfort or even be shocked by it, pleasantly perhaps. It is just an acknowledgement of who and what you are, given freely because you are ready to receive such an acknowledgement. This is also acknowledgement. So, wow, you're really getting an acknowledgement from the divine here that, hey, you've been doing a lot of growth and your presence and the work that you're doing is inspiring others just by being yourself, you know. You are also being gifted through this oracle with a sign, a portent. This oracle is an omen, an issue too difficult for you to understand. No matter how hard you have been working on it, is about to be resolved. You have no need to hold on to it or become more worthy of that resolution. It is going to happen according to the grace of the great beloved, and your job is to allow it to happen. To simply bear witness to the resolution, even if you have no idea what is going on in the process. You may find that whilst you are letting go, the resolution happens without you being aware of it until after the fact. Then apparently all of a sudden what was an issue is no longer so. You who help others are a worthy recipient of the help of the great beloved. Be prepared to surrender all plans and convictions about what can and cannot be, about what you think you know and what you think you need. Allow the benevolent grace of the beloved to take you through the great waves as the seas become calm and serene under the living divine light. This oracle brings the message that if you have a situation in your midst that feels impossible to resolve, the divine has it covered. Do the sacred honoring ritual and let it be sorted out by a power greater than your own. It shall be sorted out, and your sun shall rise. Just as day follows night again and again, so too shall your sun rise after any issue or struggle. Have faith and hope, and know that this is a sensible approach to any dilemma, no matter how serious it may seem. For what use is it to bemoan the absence of day, even on the longest night, when you know in every moment dawn is ever closer to breaking once again? Your hope is then not foolish, but wise. Okay, I want to clarify something, just in case that in my path, for example, I've always struggled with the idea of a God, or how sometimes these messages can be very much like, okay, wait for something outside of yourself to resolve your issue. This can also be taken the other way around, just by surrendering. Like we talked about surrender from the beginning, right? By surrendering to the process as it is and doing it wisely, not forcing your will on the world, but accepting things for what they are. And a greater wisdom from within yourself can start, can bring this resolution, because it's not coming from your mind, from your identification with your emotions, with the conflicts, with aspects of yourself, with roles that we play. Once you kind of we let that go completely, it says here, when you let go of when you surrender all plans and convictions about what can or cannot be, or when you think what you think you know or what you think you need. In this particular situation, I think it's very helpful to do that type of surrender, and that things start aligning themselves on their own, and what needs to be released will be released as long as you're open to it and you allow. And then the resolution can come from the deepest, wisest part of yourself, which usually it's not the mind, just so you know. I know you know. Okay, the sacred honoring ritual says, Place your hands on your heart and say, by the way, do it only if you feel like. If you don't feel like, by all means, let it go. Place your hands on your heart and say, the divine who loves me unconditionally blesses me now with such grace that my life aligns with divine order and all becomes golden, blessed, and mercifully held in the compassionate consciousness of the Creator. I thank you for the courage and faith I have needed to endure the night, and I now celebrate the coming dawn. I see it breaking. I see its light, and I thank you for this mercy. With Rumi, who loves me unconditionally, I am now shown the way to the dawn. It is at my feet, and together we step into the gift of a new day. So be it. If you have a specific issue you would like to be addressed, hand it over to the Divine Beloved now by talking about it, just as if you were having a conversation with your oldest and dearest friend, for that is exactly what you would be taking place. Then when you have explained your feelings, your doubts or fears, let it go and know that the situation is held in the grace of the Great Beloved. And with this you will be completing your ritual. Thank you so much, Taurus, for being here. I hope this makes sense to you. If you resonated with this reading, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and have a wonderful holiday season, and have Happy New Year, and see you here soon. May our practice benefit all beings.